Nebraska wrapped up their 11th spring practice here on Thursday. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline.com. We caught up with defensive coordinator Tony White and as well as linebackers coach Rob Dvorak and players. And for Tony White, he really likes just how this defense has come together.
We want to, we want to have the habits. Okay, we want to create the habits of the best defense in the country. Right, that's what we want to do. Okay, the best defense in the country, they have certain habits that they run to the ball, they're physical, they don't give a crap, and they play with ultimate confidence. And so that was the thing, making sure that those guys are confident. Like, they're big, they're strong and fast. They, from what Corey, Mitch, and Kristen has been doing with them in off season, they know what to do. They've been sitting in meetings. Bro, go out there and play. Go out there and play. No hesitation, no fear. Like, go play, and then we'll correct it later. So I think that's the next step, is to make sure that every guy believes, man, like they are monsters out there, that they can just go out and play fast and physical, and then we'll correct the stuff later. But just go out there and put it on tape and let's see.
But for White, he continues to challenge his players as he's pushing them for more.
You're never good enough. Now the really cool thing, okay, I'm gonna say this because I don't think he'll say it, that after the scrimmage when we came back and watched it, coach got on me because it wasn't good enough. It just wasn't good enough, and so we went back and we looked, because this group of guys in the locker room, they do what you ask, man. These guys are blue collar. They make coaching fun. So I looked at it and we went back as a defense staff and said, how can we do this? And so we tweaked some things on defense and explained to them, and I apologized to the guys. I said, hey guys, this is my fault. This is what we want to look like. This is what we want to do, and actually showed them. And Tuesday they went out there and they ran around with their hair on fire, and I was like, wow. I think everybody's like, holy cow, like, what's going on? And then today, to start it off, they had the same attitude towards them. So I had to apologize to the guys. It was my fault. You know what I mean? And it was really fun to watch those guys, Jamari, Bullock, Giff. I mean, those guys, Keese, go out there with the little chip on their shoulder and fly around. So again, you're never good enough. You're always tweaking something. You're always trying to challenge somebody. You're always trying to make sure that guys are getting better and not. And when coach jumped us for that, like, it was a great thing. You know what I mean? So we were able to redefine some things.
One of the unique things that we've seen Nebraska do this spring is they divided up into the 3 different teams. That's allowed other assistant coaches like Rob Dvorak the opportunity to call plays on defense.
It's been a great experience for us. I mean, I go back and watch the tape and say to myself, like, man, that was stupid. Like, I shouldn't have called that. And have Coach White give us some reflection about, hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you call this? And just kind of give us feedback, because we haven't done that before. And that just helps you in the long run. And you're like, man, you could evaluate yourself and be like, why'd you do it? Why'd you call it? Whatever the reasons may be. So it's been really good. A couple times I said to myself, like, man, that was dumb. But you learn from it, just like playing the game. You learn from your mistakes and you try to get better at it, and so you don't make that same mistake.
Some other notable names that have emerged this spring. First, at linebacker, we've heard a lot about true freshman Vincent Shavers.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I think Coach Rule mentioned it the other day. He's kind of the type of young man that you want on your team. Does everything right, works his tail off, the way he plays the game, just a lot of energy, physical, flying to the ball. He's what you want, and so I feel blessed that he's on our team for my sake and everyone else that's a part of it.
Then FCS transfer cornerback Bly Hill has been another player who's come on as of late.
Again, not because there's so many guys that are improving, but he was just noticeable because he had 2-3 plays where it's just like, hey, it's you and the ball, you and the defender, you and the offensive guy, and he happened to make those plays. So it was good to see a guy like that who he worked the whole off season with Coach Coop as all those guys did, but he does exactly what you ask. He really absorbs the information and applies it on the grass. You see him working on things. He's really deliberate in his practice, so it's good for him to show out like that.
Syracuse linebacker transfer Stephon Thompson is a guy that started out slow transitioning to Nebraska, but he now has started to make a move as well, White said.
Steph Thompson, now he's got worked himself into shape. I mean, he knows the defense, so now he's starting to put things together in there.
I think he's getting better. Obviously, it was a transition for him to move here, be a part of this program. The culture kind of adjusts to everything. The way we do everything, really, from the weight room, nutrition, sleep, study hall, literally everything. So that was a transition for him, and he's working every day to get better at it, kind of understanding how we want to do things. And so he's gotten better at it, learning how we practice, what our expectations are, what our standards are. So he's improving.
That young defensive line continues to be a staple as well here for Nebraska this spring. We know who the veterans are, guys like Ty Robinson and Ash Hutmacher, but players like Riley Van Poppel are the future.
I mean, Riley, you got Vincent Carroll Jackson in there. Sua is come on, and he's starting to show like, hey, he belongs. I mean, again, those guys, T-Knight does a great job of mixing those guys around from tackle to end, from first to second, and then the competition daily on the grading. The depth chart is never the same. You're always moving guys up, moving guys down based off of performance. So it's a good competition in there for guys to get better.
It's nice because it gives me and all the younger guys those reps that, a lot of places around the country don't get. So it's nice to be able to be here and get those reps. Times it's a little tiring, because you don't have as much depth, but it's also cool because you see them on the sidelines engaged with us, coaching us, yelling at us during the play. And when we come off to the sidelines, they're there teaching us, what they see, what we can do better. So, it's been unbelievable just to have them by our side and sitting there coaching us along the way.
And when Van Poppel talks with some of the younger defensive linemen and offensive linemen in this program, they understand how big this year is for them to continue to develop.
Yeah, that's like you said, we all talk, we're all buddies. Out on the field, we don't like the guys across the ball, but we're all there for each other. I think, like you said, like T and I talked to me about it the other day, but when Ty and Nash leave and Jamari and Judy leave, like they're going to look back and they want to be comfortable in what they've showed us. So when it's our turn to step up, they know like we can take over the reins. And I think they've done a good job at showing us how to perform and how to play. And our D-line room, I know personally, I think we're the closest group on the team. We know how to work, but we have a lot of fun in there. So just being around the young guys and the old guys all as a mix, it's not like we're split up, we're all in there together. So
then finally we caught up with Chief Borders, who will play that jack position, and getting to the quarterback and finishing off plays will be an emphasis.
Most definitely, that's what we get paid for, that's where the bread and butter is, sacks is everything to us. So that's what we're going to work on, our craft to get better. Sacks is everything right now. So getting after the ball, you take the ball away, you win games.
Huskers back Saturday for a big scrimmage. That will be their 12th practice of the spring. Reporting here with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.